The vibes are not high at Real Madrid. Things are not going to plan. And since Xabi Alonso has taken over, I've been satisfied, but I'm definitely not feeling as excited as I was before the season kicked off. Now, we've been seeing the reports over the last few weeks about how Xabi Alonso has lost the dressing room, the players, they're unhappy, just a bunch of negative media has been reported around the club. But that's what happens when you enter the international break and you lose against Liverpool, where they should have battered us, right? 1-0 makes it look like it was a respectable performance. We got absolutely cooked. Thibaut Courtois had a masterclass. If that game would have went on for 500 more minutes, we weren't going to score. And then you follow up that performance going against Rayo Vallecano, and you don't score a goal in that one either. So, of course, at Real Madrid, the pressure is through the roof, especially after the last season that we had. So in this video, I want to talk about how Xabi Alonso can turn things around immediately. I have two 11s, two different formations, two different philosophies that I'm going to recommend Xabi to use. And I want you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you think about this situation. How do you think Xabi Alonso can get the best out of this team? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Now, before we get into the 11s, right? Before we talk tactics, before we break down how we can return to cooking teams once again, it's not like this season has been awful, right? Like currently, we are top of La Liga, 3 points ahead of Barcelona. Even though they're talking like they're top, they're not, right? It's a bit lonely up here. They got to catch up. And in the Champions League, right, we are sitting, where are we exactly in the UCL? So we are sitting 7th, right? And we did lose against Liverpool, like I brought up. In La Liga, we're top. We've lost only one game, and we've drawn one time as well. But even though our standings in these or in these tournaments, I should say, even though it looks good on paper, on the pitch, it's still not clicking under Xabi Alonso. Like, I think we look better than we did last season. I think we look more organized. We dominate the ball. Defensively, we've been more solid. But the main issue that I have is our attack. We are not dominating teams. We are not battering teams. The only thing that we dominate is possession. But if that's not leading to goals, then it doesn't matter. So now, let's get into the solutions that Xabi Alonso can use to turn things around. And like I said, I have 2 of them. So, solution number 1. I think we need to go back to the 3-5-2. This is the first change that I think Xabi Alonso can do that would get us cooking again. We saw during the Club World Cup, this works. The team played at a very high level. Now, I know that we got battered by PSG in the semifinals, but I do put a little asterisk on that performance, only because Xabi was only in the job for about 2 weeks. PSG just came off of winning the UCL. They had everyone fit, and Luis Enrique is a better manager, and he's had more time to instill his system versus what Xabi Alonso did. Even though that was an unacceptable performance, I do have a little bit of grace, okay? And mind you, I was at that game. It was hot as fuck. And by the time we got to the 10th minute, the match was over. So, awful day, awful time for me to see my first ever live Real Madrid game. But I will show a little bit of mercy here. Now, let's get into the first solution, which for me is the 3-5-2. Now, obviously, right, you would have Courtois in goal. And this is me going off of if everyone is fit. This is what I want to see. Right-sided center back would be Militao. In the middle, you will have Tchouameni, who would be playing that hybrid role, right? Starting off in the back line, and then when we lose the ball, he goes into the midfield to lead the press. And we'll move these players around to show you how it would work. But yes, Tchouameni in the middle, because he was phenomenal in this role when Xabi Alonso first came in. Then Dean Howson, left-sided center back. By the way, Howson needs to step up. I'm not going to lie. Early on, looked like our best defender, but in the big games, he's been a bit suspect. It's been spooky, right? Like Militao has by far been our best defender this season. And Militao's playing at a world-class level, which has surprised me because I thought Militao was cooked. This guy is coming off of 2 torn ACLs in back-to-back seasons. I thought his ligaments was made out of Swiss cheese and ham. You feel me? I thought this man would be breaking down. I thought that his body would be like tendonism. If you know, you know. But Militao has been cooking this season. Tchouameni's been playing at a very high level, arguably the best DM in the world. And Howson has looked good, but not in the big games. Like, it's been suspect. So I'm going to need him to figure it out. And I think he will, because I do believe he is a baller. I do believe he is the future of Spain's defense. I think his play style is very unique. The skill set that he has as well, the way that he's very good on the ball. Defensively, he is a good player. I need him to bulk up, right? Howson needs to eat some Wheaties, all right? This guy looks like he can't give me 15 push-ups, all right? The guy might be trembling trying to lift a 15-pound dumbbell. So I need him to eat a spinach, all right? I need him to eat some beef and bread. Gotta pack some weight, I can't lie. But this is the back three, right? Now, at wingback, I would like to go Alvaro Carreras, who I think has been a very good signing so far. I think he's done a very good job at left back, has brought stability defensively, and he's very good going forward, right? Now, at right wing back, I'm going Valverde. If everyone is fit in the big games, Valverde needs to be out there starting. Valverde is our best right back currently. He's performed the best. And if you put him in the midfield and have him play as a wing back, that allows him to go up the pitch. That also means that he has to track back as well. And you could put Valverde anywhere, and this guy will perform. Right wing, he can do that. Right back, he can do that. As an 8, he can do that. In the pivot, he can do that. As a DM, he can do that. If you need a screamer to be scored, he can do that. Valverde is such an underrated player. I think at right wing back, with the freedom to go up and down the right side of the pitch, he would fucking cook. Now, midfield. Jude, best midfielder in the world, right? The most complete midfielder in world football. Clear of Pedri. I don't care what anybody says. This guy is the complete package. I need somebody that can do everything in that midfield. He can do that, while also giving us a great lethal goal threat. Next to him, Camavinga, and then Arda Güler. Vini, and Mbappé. This is my number one solution for Xabi Alonso to make things work. Enough of this back four nonsense. 3-5-2. Go back to your bread and butter. When you were at Leverkusen, this is what worked for you in terms of your philosophy, the back three. And I know that Xabi's a very flexible manager in terms of he does try different things like a back four, back three. But how things are going right now currently on the pitch, it could look much better. This is how you get the best out of our team while also getting everyone involved. Now, off the ball, right? I think this does go to a back four. So, for example, in possession, this is what I want to see, right? It lets Alvaro Carreras push up. It lets Valverde also overlap as well to give threats on the outside, right? Or you could have Vinícius go wide. You have Mbappé go wide, right? Then that leaves the box free for Jude to crash, right? And we all saw when Jude crashed in the box, it works very well. Now, when we lose the ball, right, I think it goes to a back four with Vini and Mbappé are still up front, right, leading the press. And then you have Correas will drop down, right? Howson comes more inside. Militao does as well. Valverde drops. Jude goes out. Arda goes out to the right. Camavinga. And then you have Tchouameni off the ball. This is how it can look when we're pressing. But on the ball, I think a 3-5-2. We saw it in the Club World Cup, right? Jude and Arda were playing together. It was working. Nobody was talking about, oh, can those two be on the pitch at the same time? Of course they can. They're two different profiles of midfielder, right? Like Jude is not a pure number 10. Jude is more of a box-to-box 8. But because of his goal-scoring threat, because he's our best box crasher, it is nice to have him higher up the pitch. But I think off the ball, 4-4-2, on the ball, right? So again, when we win possession back, then boom. Tchouameni drops deep again, right? Jude comes a little bit more inwards. Camavinga, Arda, Valverde, and then this is how it looks. Go back to the basics, Xabi. Solution number 1. Now let's get into the second solution and the final one that I have to offer this manager. And this is another formation that I believe Real Madrid can cook in. So we are going to go to the 4-3-3, right? Now, where is it here? Here we go. 4-3-3. This is also how Real Madrid can do some absolute damage, right? Now, Courtois, obviously, is going to be in goal. Again, I'm keeping Valverde at right back. I'm sorry. Like, this is his best position right now. And I don't really think he's been cooking in the midfield for Xabi Alonso anyways. Now, obviously, you can rotate him and Trent. It's a good problem to have, right? I think Valverde makes sense in the bigger games, but I think Trent should also be starting matches as well. So rotate, right? This is the point of having a great squad, is that you can rest players and you can take advantage of some of the quality that you also have. So Valverde / Trent right here. But I do believe that Valverde is better defensively. That's why he's getting the nod. But I would not mind seeing Trent either, right? Now, obviously, right, we're going Militao again. One of the best center backs in the world this season, right? Howson at left center back. Correas. So the back line pretty much stays the same, right? For the most part. Now, I'd say, so Jude as the left 8. And now this is where I struggle because I think Tchouameni should be here. I think Tchouameni is arguably the best DM in the world. But in a 3-man midfield, I think Camavinga does move the ball better than him. But Camavinga does not give us the defensive stability that Tchouameni does, right? So I would keep Tchouameni. I think he's a very underrated player. I think he's very disrespected. I think people need to put more respect on his name. Then I would go Arda. Hear me out. We're going to move some things around here. We're going to move some players around. I would like Arda the highest up the pitch. Tchouameni to be dropped a little bit deeper. Jude kind of playing like in that in-between space between Tchouameni and Arda Güler. Now on the left, right, I'm going Vinícius. But of course, you can maybe also put Rodrygo there as well. Have them rotate. Now on the right, I am going Mbappé. Now the issue that I think that we have in our attack, and by the way, you can put Vini or Mbappe on the right. You can interchange them. I don't give a fuck. The issue that I think that we're having right now is in our attack, it's very imbalanced, right? So because of that imbalance, right? Like when you have Mbappe running as the striker, right? What does Mbappe do every fucking time? He drifts. He drifts to the left. So he's right next to Vini on that left wing, which then brings the defenders over there, and now neither of them have space to operate. So what I'm starting to think is get Mbappe away from Vinícius. I don't want to see them on the same side of the pitch unless maybe it's like a counterattack or something like that. But for the most part, they should not be next to each other. I don't think Vinícius and Mbappe together being that close works. So whether you want to put Vinícius on the right or Mbappe, I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying have them spread out on the wings. Because the right side of our attack this season has given us nothing. It's really not been any kind of threat. Like Franco Mastantuono has been mid. Brahim Diaz, mid. Rodrygo, mid. So if you want the right side of our attack to become a threat once again, then play either Vinícius or Mbappé there. And then have the other one on the opposite side. That is how you keep the defense honest. And then in the 9, I'm starting Gonzalo Garcia, bruv. I'm going to be real. I think he is a better striker. Is Gonzalo Garcia not here? Lineup builder, massive L. But I think, yeah, he's not available. But Gonzalo Garcia is who I would start in the 9. I know that some people are going to say Endrick, but I don't think Endrick is a better profile of striker than Gonzalo Garcia. Endrick is too short, right? This guy, Endrick, is built like a meatball. This guy is built like a Teletubby. Bruv is like 5'7". This guy is short as fuck. I can put Endrick in my pocket, bro. That's a small guy. And he doesn't give us any threat up front in terms of aerially, right? Gonzalo Garcia is 6'1". We've seen this guy be good in the air, can score headers from open play. And in the Club World Cup, he also shown that his all-around game is a lot better than Endrick's in terms of he can drop deep, right? He can link play. He can be like that Benzema profile. And then you allow Vinícius and Mbappé from the wings to invert. And then you can have Gonzalo Garcia along with Arda Güler playing as like the link-up man, for example, right? Now, I do like Endrick, but Endrick's decision-making is rash, right? Endrick is still a raw prospect, and I think he should go on loan to Lyon to get more playing time anyways. But I think Gonzalo Garcia would bring more balance to our attack, right? This is the way that I think we can cook as well. So let me know what you guys are saying about my 2 solutions, right? I think maybe the 4-3-3 might be a bit more attractive because then you have Arda Güler playing directly next to Mbappé. Their connection has been phenomenal. But will Xabi Alonso do this? I don't know, right? But things do have to change because our performances heading into the international break were shit. Let's be very honest. But get in the comment section, right? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications.
Let there be carnage.